Hello, my lovelies. How we doing? Hanging in there? Okay. Yeah. Michael, Eminem, how you doing? Good. Jayla, cool. Everybody's here in spirit. Okay. Let's go to Act 4, Scene 4 in Hamlet. This is right before the fourth soliloquy. And so I want to just go through, even though I want you to read it and analyze it the best you can, let me just give you some guiding thoughts over it, especially the lead in to the soliloquy itself. Here's the scene. Okay, Fortinbras, if you remember, the nephew of old Fortinbras of Norway, needs permission to go against Denmark, or across Denmark, I should say, to attack a little piece of land controlled by the Polish people and army. Now, in comparison with what they'll get in return, this piece of land can't even be farmed. It's basically worthless. And Hamlet sees the movement of these troops of Norway, and he's befuddled. He's kind of confused. And he has this conversation with the captain, okay? The captain of the ship that's going to take he and Rosencrantz and Guildenstern to England. So let's start at the top, okay? Fortinbras, go captain, from me greet the Danish king and tell him that by his license or free pass, Fortinbras craves the conveyance of a promised march over his kingdom. So let him know that everything's kosher, everything's cool. We have permission to do this. Hamlet says, good sir, whose powers are these? And the captain says, well, they are of Norway, sir. Well, how purpose, sir, I pray you? You know, what's the point? What's the reason? Well, they are going against some part of Poland. They're going to invade. Who commands them, sir? The nephew to old Norway, Fortinbras. Hamlet says, goes it against the main of Poland, sir? Or for some frontier? Is this like going to be a big, huge battle? Oh, no addition. We go to gain a little patch of ground that hath in it no profit but the name. To pay 5 ducats 5, I would not farm it, nor will it yield to Norway or the Pole a ranker rate, should it be sold in fee. It's worthless, this piece of land, that this whole army under Fortinbras is going to attack. So Hamlet's thinking, well, the Polish army's not gonna, even defend this. And then, are the Polak never will defend it, will they? Well, yes, there are already stationed troops there. 2,000 souls and 20,000 ducats will not debate the question of this straw. This is the impostrum of much wealth and peace, or festering sore of much wealth and peace, that inward breaks and shows no cause without why the man dies. I humbly thank you, sir. God be with you. Guys, all of the treasure of blood being spilt for a little bit of land, the sacrifice of troops and money are going in to secure this little piece of land, and Hamlet thinks this is crazy. It's not worth it in comparison. Here you have a little small piece of land. Here you have possible deaths on one side of Norway. Troops could be killed. There's no money in the land, so they're sacrificing some treasure here and securing the land. What a sacrifice. Hamlet is thinking, why would these guys do that? This is his state of mind for the fourth soliloquy. Now remember, the fourth soliloquy, if you remember the topics of each one, right? The first one was about the sullied flesh. Remember, he was all depressed and sad after his father's death. The second, oh, what an ass am I. Why can't I make a decision? I gotta do what Dad told me to do, but I just need one more piece to the puzzle, he was thinking. Oh, what an ass I am. And then third, you know this one, to be or not to be. See if you still know it. And the fourth one, this one, in Act 4, is all about taking revenge. So let's look at it, okay? What I'm going to do is I'm going to read the whole thing, follow along, and then I'll give you some highlights. Ready? Here we go, top of page 93. I'll be with you straight, go a little before, he tells Rosencrantz. Now he's all alone. How all occasions do inform me and spur my dull revenge. What is a man if his chief good and market of his time be but to sleep and feed? A beast no more. Sure, he that made us with such large discourse, looking before and after, gave us not that capability and godlike reason to fust in us unused. Now, whether it be a bestial oblivion or some craven scruple of thinking too precisely on the event, a thought which, quartered, hath but one part wisdom and ever 3 parts coward. I do not know why yet I live to say, this thing's to do, sith I have cause and will and strength and means to do it. Examples gross as earth exhort me. Witness this army, of such mass and charge, led by a delicate and tender prince, whose spirit with divine ambition pulled, makes mouths at the invisible event, exposing what is mortal and unsure to all, that fortune, death, and danger dare. Even for an eggshell, rightly to be great, is not to stir without great argument, but greatly to find quarrel in a straw when honor's at stake. How stand I then, that have a father killed, a mother stained, excitements of my reason and my blood, and let all sleep, while to my shame I see the imminent death of 20,000 men, that for fantasy and trick of fame go to their graves, like beds, fight for a plot whereon the numbers cannot try the cause, which is not tomb enough and continent to hide the slain. Oh, from this time forth, my thoughts be bloody, or be nothing worth. Okay, let's go back. How all occasions do inform against me and spur my dull revenge. He needs to get on with revenge. I need something to spur my dull revenge, he says. What is a man if his chief good and market of his time be but to sleep and feed? He's not doing anything but sleeping and feeding himself when he should be about the business of taking revenge. A beast no more sure he has made us with large ability to reason. Looking before and after gave us not that capability and godlike reason to fuss or to mold in its unused. Here I have all the smarts. God has given me the ability for reason. And yet, it makes sense that I should take revenge. I have all the pieces. So it would be, and why am I so unreasonable for not taking action? Because this is the quality of intellect God has given me, godlike reason. And yet, for some reason, he's got this craven scruple of thinking too precisely. Thinking too precisely. You know what that's like to be a perfectionist. Everything's got to line up just right. And he's just thinking he's almost like an animal. He needs to be more like an animal. And just what? React. Animals don't do this like he's doing. Animals instinctively, without hesitation, in his case, he's thinking cowardly hesitation, to go and make it right. In this case, take revenge. He says, I have one part wisdom, thinking too much. That's one part. One part wisdom, but he has three parts what? Sophie? Cowardice. Very good. That's his state of mind right now. This thing's to do. I need to be motivated. I have cause. I have will and strength and means to do it. Why haven't I done it already? Why haven't I done it already? For example, now he uses the Fortinbras army, risking and sacrificing. Look at the dedication. Look at the motivation. Look at the action that they're going to take, no matter what the cost, to go get that little piece of land from Poland. And Hamlet says, I can't even be like that. They have more to lose than I do. He compares himself to Fortinbras, who is, delicate. Yet this delicate leader of an army is taking a greater risk than Hamlet. How I stand, line 59, how stand I then that have a father killed and a mother stained? Excitements of my reason and my blood, and let all sleep, while to my shame I see the imminent death of 20,000 men. To be truly great doesn't mean you'd only fight for a good reason. Let me say that again. To be truly great doesn't mean you'd only fight for a good reason. You'd fight over nothing if your honor was at stake. If it's a matter of honor, you should do what's right. That he's trying to not be thinking too precisely, but instead just understand that honor is enough of a reason to take revenge. If your honor is at stake, which Hamlet's honor is, he must go through and take revenge. He's not going to be the fulfillment of being a prince, of a king, if he doesn't take this act of honor. Because look at young Fortinbras. He's doing it because of the honor, and the sacrifice perhaps is great for him. They go to die for a chance of honor. In war, in battle, as Fortinbras' army. They're going in it for honor. They're not getting anything out of the land. So what other reason could there be? They go to die for a chance of honor, and Hamlet has more of a reason to take out revenge. More than a reason than just honor. And yet honor would be enough. In this case, there's honor. It's for the sake of honor, and because his father told him, and we know who the guilty party is, and his mother might be complicit. All of those. Look at, pile on the reasons. What excuse do you have, Hamlet? If my thoughts aren't violent, I'll consider them worthless. He comes to the end of the soliloquy, and he basically says, Oh, from this time forth, from this time forth, this moment, my thoughts be bloody or be nothing worth. The thoughts now have to be translated into action. Thoughts have to be translated into action. If not, this is no longer even relevant. Honor is not the case. He must take revenge. Any questions? Any questions? Yes, yes, yes. Okay, I want you to continue on reading. Scene 5, go through at least, I'll talk about Ophelia in our next video, but go to at least page 100 for my next session. Well, it might be toward the end of the week. We'll see how it goes. We're doing the best we can, you guys. So hang tough in there, okay? See ya.